What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I am back with another review. And today I'm reviewing Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order. And man, I completed the game. It took me over 20 hours to do. A lot of exploring, a lot of combat, and tremendous story effort by the dev team over at Respawn. I got to come out and say it that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is probably one of the better games in a long time published by EA that's not a sports or racing sim. This is definitely A Way Out came out last year, which was dope and it's all right, but a AAA story focus, it just does not seem like an EA published title. And for that, before we get into the review, I have to applaud the work for EA and definitely the gem of a studio, Respawn, who showed flex their muscles in the first-person shooter genre with the first two Titanfall games, but they even flexed an even harder muscle by showing us a game like Titanfall 2, which had probably one of the best story campaigns for a first-person shooter in a long time. And they flexed, and now they delivered on something even special to the point that it should legit be a Game of the Year contender. Now, let's get into it. Now, you become a Jedi in this new third-person action adventure game by Respawn. You play as Cal, a pretty much a Jedi in hiding. They've The Imperial soldiers have came through and executed a lot of these guys, and some of them had to split up and part ways. And now you're really on a quest back, to save pretty much the future of Jedi's. So it may seem. Now you play as Cal, young Jedi stud, who pretty much kind of earned his rankings throughout the campaign. He gets different abilities, learns he discovers his powers through flashbacks. So a lot of these powers that you do earn in this game are already actually there. It's just that the way that they allow you to get them is by pretty much going into flashbacks of him being taught different things by his trainer and whatnot. And what happens is he'll then start to use them in the game, teaches you how to use them. But there's so much going on in this game as far as what you're able to do. The combat borrows from the likes of the Sekiros, the Dark Souls, the Soulsborne games, which was good. But a lot of people want to immediately draw comparisons to those games. I foresee the game being more so like the Uncharted's and the Tomb Raiders, with a little bit of that Respawn flavor. You're able to wall run and double jump. The traverse system is pretty dope. This game takes really the best things from like a lot of games, like the rating tombs like Tomb Raider, the level design of what Uncharted would offer, or the combat of a Sekiro or a Bloodborne. The game can be challenging, but thankfully this game does have difficulty settings, and those difficulty settings include like a story mode, which pretty much makes everything extremely easy to the point where you'll do more damage. You don't have to worry about parrying on time and stuff like that. Then you got like Jedi Knight, which is like their normal equivalent, and they got Jedi Master, which is honestly their hard equivalent, which I played the game on. And then there's like a Grand Jedi Master, which is the hardest difficulty. And those the latter two are the ones that's more comparable as far as when you're playing and you're dealing with combat. You're going to be, if you're a fan of the Soul style games, this would be more of your comfort level. But my thing about this game, about a Jedi Fallen Order, is that there's a balance. Sure, it's favorable to like the Sekiros and the Bloodborns, which I did enjoy, as you guys seen my streams before. But I like the balance, and it finally delivered a game that I've been clamoring for, and that is just the action adventure games that offers a lot in exploration and traversing. I love me some Tomb Raider, I love me some Uncharted, and this is the only game to deliver that this year. And the fact that it had this combination of just the right balanced combat and the exploration of like the Uncharted and the Tomb Raider, it would just honestly, it feels like perfect. And not only that, graphically the game is dope. It looks good. I enjoyed the game, like, and then the story. It's a Star Wars game, so there's so many story avenues they can take and they can draw from. So it's really hard to mess up a story for Star Wars, but the Respawn did. They knocked it out of the park. A lot of the cameos in this game are dope. The character models are dope. The story is dope too, and what it leads to, it was just like, I was really in shock, and I appreciate this game effort. And I'm gonna tell you this, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I've seen the original, the first three movies, like four, 5, and 6, however they do it, and the latter two, the ones that came out in the early 2000s, didn't really care to watch. But I can't tell you, like, I know like the originals, you know, the Darth Vaders, the the Skywalkers and all that other stuff, the Obi-Wans and the freaking the robots and stuff like that. So I'm not a historian on a Star Wars franchise, but everybody knows something related to Star Wars. But the thing about what I'm getting to is that you do not need to be a Star Wars fan to play this game or to enjoy this game. This is an original story. It's a dope story, and you will enjoy this game. If you enjoy Souls games, you're gonna enjoy this game. If you enjoy Tomb Raider and Uncharted, you're gonna enjoy this game. If you love what Respawn does with their wall running, you know that they definitely put their staple Titanfall like wall running in here. Is dope. They find ways to make things work. The level designs are dope. My only complaints about this game, about Jedi Fallen Order, is that it did have performance issues. Like there's been a patch, but when I first started the game, it would take, sometimes the stage would not completely populate or fully and you would just literally see, like, if you would just step off your ship, you would just fall through levels. So that was a bit annoying. And then there was some stuttering issues that I had with the game. And then my biggest gripe, something that they haven't fixed yet, was load times. Dying. And that's why I was not a fan of playing on the hardest difficulty, is because when you do die, like, and use up all your lives, there is no there's the load times are actually long. They're just too long. I'm playing on the Xbox One X, so I'm playing on the best console possible as far as a more powerful console, but the load times, I just can't imagine what the load times are on an OG Xbox One or a PS4 Slim. I just can't imagine, but I found the load times to be very, very slow, and that irritated me. And the other thing that's really a big knock on this game, because this game, you know, drew inspiration for Soulsborne style games. You do get like save points. You upgrade, you find save points. There's so many. It's like a Metrovania style game. So you got so many different ways to get to certain locations. And just like how in Bloodborne and Sekiro, you got like these bonfires and stuff like that, or these resting spots that you find and unlock and you discover. Those in most games, those are actual fast travel points. Like, you go to, like, you die, or you open up the menu, you go to a point, and you can just select which location you want to go to of all the ones you unlock. However, you in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, you unlock all these save points, all these meditation spawns all over the place, because these maps are actually ginormous. There's so many different avenues and ways you can get to. Like, there's sometimes that I got lost because I got so deep into a map. And I realized once when it was time to go back to my ship, I couldn't just fast travel to my ship or fast travel to a spawn that was close to my ship. I had to work my way back. And it sucks because when you died, you just go back to the spawn point you last saved. And that's no good. So I didn't understand why have all these save points that you're unlocking if you can't use them. They're not fast travel. It just boggled my mind that these weren't fast travel locations. But outside of that, I mean, I really had no complaint. I enjoyed my game. I enjoyed the playthrough. It was an amazing time spent on this game. there's a lot of collectibles. There's a lot of chests, and a lot of chests honestly are cosmetic stuff. So I kind of lost the drive to keep looking for them because they were like cosmetics. Nothing was really anything special that I thought. So I still have a few more chests to go get. It does have a lot to offer in terms of tombs and secret bosses. I've ran into a couple rare bosses. The fights are challenging, they're fun, you learn new things, and the way that the leveling system works is that you get all these different abilities that weren't available like during your earlier playthrough, and the fact that you can go back to each of these levels, and in some cases story related, you actually have to go back to some of the earlier parts of the game because you start unlocking new ways, new doors, new shortcuts. You can force your way through like a cracked wall, or draw down a bridge with using force, or a double jump, or grab a rope that wasn't available to you, and it allows you to get to different locations that you didn't have access to. And I thought that was just kind of like the ultra dope thing to do, and it was one of my favorite things to go. I was like, man, I can't wait to go back to this planet now that I got this. Oh, I got it. There's just a lot, and the fights are challenging. And the fact though, the game does not have to be challenging to you because it does have a difficulty setting. But personally, I recommend playing on Jedi Master or Jedi Knight. I'm not messing with the Grand Jedi stuff because I wanted to enjoy the game because the game has a story, a dope story. The game has awesome gameplay. So I feel like a nice balanced mode is Jedi Knight or Jedi Master. Jedi Master for me preferably because I played through like the Sekiros and Bloodborns, and I kind of have a feel and a nice feel for those games, so that was more of my comfortable setting. Sure, I did struggle on a few boss fights, especially the last two, which I struggled dearly. I think I broke a headset and a controller in my last stream, unfortunately, and I still have bloody knuckles. But that was my fault because I decided to play it on the hardest difficulty and go through that. So what I'm going to say is, as far as Jedi the Fallen Order, my thoughts on the game is that it excels in gameplay, it excels in combat, it excels in story. Graphically, it's not the best looking game, but it's passable. It's current gen. It does look good. Sure, the flaws is fast travel system is non-existent, and it does have some bugs, and loading times are horrendous. But if I had to give this game a score, man, I would definitely recommend this game. And it's literally a few bugs away from a 10 out of a 10, man. And I have to give this game a 9. Highly recommend this game. Pick yourself up. Star Wars I almost called it Battlefront, but Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is definitely one of my game of the year contenders, and is one of my favorite games of 2019. So let me know your thoughts, and I hope to see you guys in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Otherwise, I'll see you on the other time. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We're out of here.